What's happening, everybody? Game Crunch here. Just checking some news this morning, looking at some stuff, and I got some new information about that Switch magnetic Joy-Cons, that video that I made the other day, kind of explaining how it's going to work, which I thought was very interesting. So I wanted to kind of take a look at that with you today, and we're just going to get right into it. I'm not really going to waste any of your time going over anything. Let's just get right into the meat and potatoes of this video, keep it short and sweet as possible. That being said, if you get to the end of the video, please like and subscribe, really helps. Anyway, let's get into this. So, this new peripheral here, they're saying that the magnetic Joy-Cons that I made the video about the other day, how they're going to kind of just clip on the side with magnets, which upon first reading didn't really make any logical sense to me because, I mean, you can get strong magnets, uh, but as I mentioned in the previous video, Nintendo likes to make very durable hardware. And we can see that from the fact that, like, all my consoles over here still work. My 40-year-old, damn near 40-year-old NES and everything else on the shelf there still works. And Game Boys back in the day, you could drop the shit out of them and they just keep going. But it just doesn't make any sense because then you knock the switch out the middle and you might have a broken screen. Doesn't really make much sense, but this kind of clears that up for us. So let's go over this. I highlighted some key points here to keep things quick and easy. So there's a Chinese company which specializes in making Switch controllers, claims to have acquired a lot of first-hand information about the Switch 2. So another Chinese company. So again, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. I mean, all this stuff could come out and be completely false. At least we have another company corroborating what we heard from that Spanish company. So as we see here, the Joy-Cons on the system will be larger than the current. So that's new information. They're saying this Joy-Cons will be larger, which is kind of cool because, I mean, a lot of us have adult hands. You know what I mean? The kids can deal with it. I mean, I dealt with controllers when I was a kid. So N64 controller when I first held that thing was massive. So this goes over the, I was just talking about Spanish website Vandal last week. It achieved, so this kind of where it explains that it's achieved using electromagnetic suction technology controlled by electric current. So this is, it's not just like a simple little snap-on magnet. This is something else. So immediately my first thought is, okay, it's like a current. It's gonna like, they showed a video here, and I'm gonna show you this video, and we're gonna talk about it. But basically, they say it may refer to electropermanent magnet technology, which is a form of suction and to create an extremely powerful magnet. So let's check out this video here of how this is going to work.
Hello, everybody. This is Geo from Alto
And
Space
he's
Machines,
going to
and
kind of
today
show you
I will be
what
demonstrating
it's going to do.
our EPM technology, or electropermanent magnets.
Probably even skip a little bit of this.
These three elements here are what we call EPMs, and they are permanent magnets that can be programmed into an on or off state, consuming energy.
Now, my first thought when I was watching this is like, damn, those are big. That's not going to fit on a Switch very well. But he does explain that this is like an older version. So they may have perfected the technology at this point. I just hope it would be strong enough to stay. But it looks pretty damn strong.
Only when switching states and not to maintain their state. This is what we call version 3, which is a legacy version of our EPMs. We're currently working on version 5, which has about 4 to 6 times the strength of these earlier generations. I have here a ferrous target, and I will demonstrate how this works. So, we have the EPMs there. They're in the off position. There's no magnetic field. It's not gripping the target at all. However, I can turn it on. Now, nothing has happened yet. I haven't actually activated the EPMs, but when I press this button, the EPMs trigger, and now I can lift this whole plate and establish a magnetic grip force. Now, I can turn it off, and there's no more power coming from the battery into this system at all, and I still have my magnetic field. So these magnets are very firmly attached.
So that's kind of what my first thought when I watched this was like, man, that's going to drain a lot of battery out of these Joy-Cons. But as he kind of just demonstrates here, I guess with the initial electromagnetic pulse, it creates the suction from the magnets, and then there's no more power. So it's literally just like a little bit of power to get it attached, and then after that, virtually nothing to keep it attached. So that seems like a pretty good solution. And honestly, after watching this and reading about it, I think that might actually be a um, a more likely possibility for these new Switch Joy-Cons. I'm a little more convinced now at this point, because what I read from that Spanish website was just I did not see it being real at all. But I don't really think there's anything
Now,
else
I can
really in this video
deprogram the
to.
magnets by triggering it again,
He,
and
he just kind of shows you that it disconnects, makes little
goes free.
clicks,
And
and
now,
that's kind of how it works. We'll hop back over to the article here. So they kind of explain more in this article, crucially because this technology requires a single pulse to turn the magnet on and off. It's going to use practically no power. So that kind of clears up the one concern I had about this technology right away. Then they go on to say they have a little bit more information here. So about the Joy-Cons having extra buttons. So this one kind of sounded a little weird to me too. So they're talking like joining the L and R ZR, so they're going to have a third trigger on this thing? Is that what they're getting at? I don't know. Or maybe it's another set of buttons somewhere else on the controller, I hope. I don't know. And then it says finally it suggests it'll be backwards compatible. They're saying it's going to be backwards compatible, which I think it will be backwards compatible, especially if one of their concerns is library, as we've read in a lot of reports that Nintendo delayed it because they're waiting for a few games. And as I mentioned, I really believe that there's going to be a 3D Mario that launches with it, and probably Metroid Prime 4 will probably be the two big launch titles. But they're going to want to keep all that back library, your Zelda, your Smash Bros, your Mario Kart, of course, to help still push these sales of these systems along and give people something to play. And I hope that on this new system we get some sort of like upgrade patch. Like I was playing a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom yesterday, and after playing a lot of Dragon's Dogma, I kind of in this room I moved last year, and I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom since I moved. I sit a little closer to the TV now, and I really noticed the resolution of Tears of the Kingdom. So the rest of the article doesn't really go over much else, just kind of stuff that we've already kind of heard of why why it was possibly delayed, which is either due to worries of hardware constraints, like they might not have enough Switch 2s to go around, so they wanted to make sure that they had enough produced in time, or they were waiting on games, which I think games is the thing they're more concerned about rather than scarcity for their system. I know they like to say that they don't try and produce scarcity, but I mean, if scarcity happens, scarcity happens. It does work out really well for them. So I just want to share that with you guys and kind of go over that it does seem a little bit more likely that the Switch 2 might actually have magnetic Joy-Cons. And using that technology, it kind of clears up my worries that the Switch might just fall out like a little bit of a knock, and it gets knocked out of one of the Joy-Cons and your screen falls on the floor, and there's your $400 system now on the floor in pieces, because your kid, your one kid threw his juice box at the other kid and smacked the Switch, and the Switch, this whole thing. And Nintendo's not really into that. They're into durable stuff, so, and good quality products. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Again, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I tried to keep it as short as I could and try not to ramble on, but yeah, we'll catch you on the next one, and take care.